Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Mr. Richard McDonald.
Thank you very much. Thank you for that welcome. And let me begin by saying that I'm humbled, but also thrilled to be a visitor in this amazing country. It's not my first visit. I've visited many times, but each time I come, I'm very conscious that there is a particular magic, a particular connection with the material world, but also the spiritual world, the intellectual world, the world of the heart, the world of breath. And I had the great fortune to get to know Somya quite recently, within the last couple of years, and what was very clear from the outset was that this was a person of great determination, of great passion, and of vision, and of determination. And the fact that we're here today, being able to address some of these profound issues about how we can unlock our self-knowledge and use that to heal the world, I think it's greatly to her credit that we're all here. So I'm, again, humbled and honored to be invited here. My background is in education. I had the great fortune and the great privilege to lead a very interesting international intercultural school in Switzerland for 18 years. And I'm thrilled that there are actually two students, one a current student and one a former student of that school in the room today. And because I really like to break through the fourth wall on these events, I'm actually going to ask those people just to come actually onto the stage. And there's a look of terror I can see on the face of our current student, but there's a very particular reason I'd like you to come up. And the same is true for one of my dear former students who, unless he's already left, is lurking in the back of the room here. The reason I would like to ask Nisa onto the stage is because I'm a great believer in intercultural and intergenerational conversations. When I asked her earlier on, and she's now going to be worried, what's he going to say? When I said, what do you want from this event? She said, I don't want people who just talk a lot. And for me, we need to remember when we're engaging people, whatever the topic, that if we want to build connectivity across generations, we need to listen as well as speak. We need to engage. And that's why I want you to be here. I'm not going to ask you to say anything, so don't panic. But I think it's really important we remember that all we do, we have to break down and build connectivity between the people who speak and the people who listen. So I want you to listen attentively, knowing that actually you are an actor and not a spectator. Okay, thank you, Nisa. Thank you for coming up. I think my other former student may be too shy to come down. I'll give him a hard time about that later. My conviction as an educator is that there is an urgent need for a radical rethinking of how we educate. And part of the problem starts with the word education. It's a hallowed word that we've come to respect and value, a precious thing. But education is generally something that you do to people. You educate them. And what we need to do is we need to replace the idea of education with the idea of learning. And learning is a lifelong journey. It's a lifelong experience. And I think in revising how we educate, we have to stop being so concerned just with passing on knowledge. We need to move beyond knowledge acquisition to understanding, But even beyond understanding, we need to move towards something more proactive, and that is caring. If we cannot, through our educational processes, our learning processes, engage with the human spirit, that part of us that makes us care, we will never be able to unleash and unlock that potential within us all to heal the world. And when I say heal the world, none of us are under any illusions about the fact that there are some very serious issues. Some of them may be political issues, but a lot of them are also environmental issues. The health of our world is not just the health of individuals or the health of communities. It's the health of our whole planetary biosystems, the health of all living things, and indeed the health of all that has been created. And that, I think, helps us to cycle back into the importance of why, as we seek to draw down on the wisdom of the past and the wisdom of today, and become perhaps the inspiration for the wisdom of tomorrow, that we make a connection between our inner worlds and our outer worlds, and we see those as a very natural continuum, that our spiritual being, that our physical being, that our cerebral being are in fact simply transparencies that are overlaid, and that the true picture of who we are and what we can achieve really only comes to fruition when we can lay each of those transparencies and not leave any of them out of that process. I'm going to close just by saying that you may say, why am I here? Why is this person from Switzerland here? And I know it's Somya's ambition to bring Pragya to a wider audience, and I know that she would like to do that in Switzerland. And later on, perhaps in this session, we can talk a little bit about why Switzerland might be a really fine fit for Pragya and for the world. So I'd like to really just leave with those closing reflections that we must rethink our educational systems, that we must ensure that education is about learning and not about the imposition of knowledge or opinions, and that until we can, through the learning process, unlock our hearts and our spiritual aspirations to care, we will not be able to address the major challenges and opportunities in the world. Thank you.